Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer, and for this video, we're going to be going over 6 Milady builds. Milady's a really popular weapon, highly requested by you guys, so I decided to put together my top 6 builds for the weapon Milady. At number 6, we're going to start with Crucible Wings in Ash of War from the DLC, and a really fun one at that. We're going to show the buffing order on screen, which was Golden Bow, Blessings Boon, or Blessings of the Erd Tree, and then of course you could use something like Hellish Brewery as well, and Drink Your Tear. Now, Milady is an awesome weapon. It has an amazing moveset, but it does combine well with certain Ashes of War, and the Ash of War here aspects of the Crucible Wings is one of my favorites for it because it does good poise damage, it goes well in Sacred Affinity, and overall, I did miss the first time, but you can directionally change this Ash of War to hit your target. It's a fairly good Ash of War to use with Milady. Now you'll get a C in Sacred Affinity, decent damage, probably 600 and something AR around there, pretty decent overall. And then of course your regular hits with most enemies and bosses. You're going to be doing decent damage with your regular light and charge attacks, but the main point here is the Ash of War for this one, which is going to give you around 1500 to 3000 damage depending on the boss that you're facing. Keep in mind, in DLC, this is going to be an even better build because a lot of bosses are weak to holy damage, whereas in the base game, a lot of bosses have good resistances against holy. Let's jump into equipment and stats. And we have Sacred Milady plus 25 with Crucible Wings. We have the Erd Tree Seal. You can check out our armor set here. I didn't want to force the Rakshasa set on all these clips because I know I use it a lot. Shard of Alexander, Blade of Mercy for when you get in a posture break, Millicent's Prosthesis, Sacred Scorpion Charm, Thorny Tear, Holy Tear. Let's jump into stats. And for stats on this one, we have 60 Vigor, 21 Mind, 28 Endurance, we have 15 Strength, 22 Dexterity, we have 70 Faith. Our buffs are Golden Bow, Blessings of the Erd Tree, Hellish Brewery, and of course we hit over 51 poise as well. And at number 5, we have Flame Spear. Flame Spear goes really well with Milady. You can actually get over 700 AR with this build in total, which is pretty impressive. Once again, for our buffing order, a little bit different here. We're using Golden Bow, Blessings Boon or Blessings of the Erd Tree is better actually, and then lastly Flame Grant Me Strength. Of course, Drink Your Tear first. Once again, the buffing order is on screen every time, though, if you want to check that out. I did show it for each one, and every clip I pretty much show the buffing order. It's basically using a body, an aura, and then your tier, and if you want to add some extra HP, Blessings Boon or Blessings of the Erd Tree is perfect. Now, for this one, you can actually charge this Ash of War, get a lot of fire damage. Do get a couple misses here because of the target lock and stuff. Yeah, you'll see in a little bit I get a few misses, but overall you get a lot of damage with this Ash of War. It does good poise damage too if you're able to make contact with the weapon, and of course it's also a bit of a ranged Ash of War too. It does have that fire part that it sends out as well, and then your regular hits, your stackable damage with Milady is going to be pretty good with the amount of AR we're getting. Right there, 3 hits, around 7,000 damage on this dragon. Now granted, this dragon is weak to fire, but ultimately this is another advantage with Milady. You get that awesome fire coat, and then you get to go back to that awesome light moveset. That light moveset on Milady is phenomenal. It truly is. It's an amazing moveset. I think it's one of the selling points for Milady, why people love this weapon so much, is because of that light greatsword moveset. I wish we would have gotten more light greatswords in the DLC. It was an awesome, amazing class that I loved a lot, and we only ended up with a few of them, which is a little bit disappointing. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to add any additional weapons to Night Rain or not, or if it's just going to be the same stuff we're used to. I kind of hope they do, though, because the light greatswords, they could have done more with this class. This class is really excellent. Let's jump into equipment and stats for this build. And we have Flame Art Milady, of course, with Flame Spear plus 25, Erd Tree Seal. You can check out our armor set here. The big one here, though, is using the Winged Serpent Helm for some extra damage. Shard of Alexander, Godfrey Icon, it is chargeable. Fire Scorpion Charm, Millicent's Prosthesis, and then we have the Thorny Tear and Flame Tear as well. Let's jump into stats. And for stats on this one, it's going to be the same as last one. 60 Vigor, 21 Mind, 28 Endurance, 15 Strength, 22 Dexterity. We have 70 Faith, so you got a lot of Faith if you want to throw in incantations as well. We're using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, Blessings Boon, and of course we hit over 51 points for this one too. And next up here at number 4, we have Seppuku. Now, this is a pretty basic one that's just going to use that light greatsword moveset in combination with Seppuku for some decent bleed buildup. And of course, taking advantage of some physical damage, some bleed buildup, and a lot of damage as a whole, because anything with Seppuku in this game is pretty much broken. There, we're going to use it there. That was the buffing order once again. And let's go take on the Draconic Tree Sentinel. I want to mention that Milady has a really awesome charge attack. We're going to show that in the next clip where you actually get 2 strikes with it. But for this, we're going to go with the light greatsword moveset. We're able to stack. Let's see how much damage we end up stacking in total. About 11,000 damage. That's pretty impressive. This is all New Game Plus 3 Journey 4, by the way. Overall, a solid build for Milady. Again, anything with Seppuku is going to do a lot of damage in this game. And taking advantage, once again, of that light greatsword moveset, decent bleed build up. This is definitely one to try if you like bleed builds, because you're going to get a ton of bleed build up and a really fast moveset with a light greatsword. Let's jump into equipment and stats for this one. And we have Blood Milady plus 25 with Seppuku. Of course, we have the Dragon Communion Seal, which is also weightless. White Mask, you can check out our armor set there, part of the Solitude set and Rakshasa set. Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Millicent's Prosthesis. We have Winged Sword Insignia, or Rotten Winged Sword Insignia is better if you have it. Two-Handed Sword Talisman, Authority tier, Faith tier. Let's jump into stats. Now, for stats on this build, we have 60 Vigor, 18 Mind, 35 Endurance, 12 Strength, 40 Dexterity, 45 Arcane. We have 25 Faith, so we could use our buffs. We hit well over 51 Poise. We are using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, and of course, Blessing's Boon as well. And next up here, we have at number 3, same stats as last one, but I'll go over it for the people using this timestamp. A build for Royal Knight's Resolve with Milady. This is an awesome one in my opinion. I know I said awesome a lot in this video, because it does 2 strikes with Royal Knight's Resolve on the charge attacks from Milady, so you actually get 2 hits with Royal Knight's Resolve. It stays for the second hit. You'll be able to see it on screen here, and it ends up turning it into a very impressive build. You're going to get decent posture damage too, of course, because you're using charge attacks primarily for this build. But the big deal here, of course, is just using Royal Knight's Resolve and getting in those 2 hits each time. You're going to get good chunk damage, and since we're in Blood Affinity, you'll get some bleed procs as well. I do believe I get one here, right there, so 4,000 damage on those 2 hits. And by the way, any weapon that has a single input but hits twice, you'll get both those hits with Royal Knight's Resolve if you didn't know that, which makes using it for Milady a pretty intelligent build. Now, you could use this in Keen Affinity, Heavy Affinity to go for more physical damage. I went for Blood Affinity to get in those bleed procs as well. Also good DPS with that. But yeah, of course, it's good in Heavy as well as Keen Affinity with this type of build too. We have Blood Milady plus 25, Royal Knight's Resolve, Dragon Communion Seal. We have the White Mask, same as last one, part of the Solitude set and Rakshasa set on. Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Millicent's Prosthesis. We have the Axe Talisman. We have the Two-Handed Sword Talisman, of course, because we're going to be two-handing this weapon. Spike Crack tier, Faith tier. We're using Market Shackle there to stun the boss. And we're going to go over stats for this one for the people that are using this timestamped. Same stats as last build, 60 Vigor, 18 Mind, 35 Endurance, 12 Strength, 40 Dexterity, 45 Arcane, 25 Faith. We are using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, Blessing's Boon, and then of course we hit well over 51 Poise. And now we're on to the 2 best ones on here. At number 2, we have Stormblade. Stormblade is amazing with Milady and Keen Affinity. Stormblade, the Ash of War, by the way, scales with Dexterity, so of course we're going to go for Keen Affinity. Once again, the buffing order is on screen here. We're going to drink our tier, use Golden Vow, Blessing's Boon, and then Flame Grant Me Strength last, and you can fill up your FP at any given point. Now for Stormblade with this, it's basically just going to be using it for a pretty good amount of damage from a range as much as you can. You can throw in the regular light greatsword moveset, of course, too, but the big selling point here, once again, is the Ash of War, much like the Crucible Wings build, where you could just get a ton of damage with Stormblade, stack it up, and if you get close to the boss, get in your regular hits as well. In the case here, I end up messing up a couple of times just using the Ash of War, but overall, Milady is perfect with Stormblade. And I just want to say real quick, if you're not subbed yet, definitely be sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Elden Ring content. And of course, if you want to see content for Elden Ring Night Rain when it releases, because I'll be covering that as well. Can't wait for that to release. I'm also trying to get some groups for that going. So there's a Discord in the pinned comment. Be sure to join that as well. And for the people in my Discord, just go into that tab and let me know what console you'll be getting Night Rain for. Let's jump into equipment. We have Keen Milady plus 25 with Stormblade. We have any seal for buffs. You can check out the armor set here. You're going to want the Divine Beast head, though. That'll increase your damage. Shard of Alexander, Enraged Divine Beast Talisman, Millicent's Prosthesis. We have the Ritual Swords Talisman for when we're at full HP. Authority tier, Green Burst Crystal tier. Let's jump into stats. And we have 60 Vigor, 19 Mind, 27 Endurance, 19 Strength, 74 Dexterity. We have 25 Faith. We are using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, Blessing's Boon, and of course we hit well over 51 Poise. And now we're going to move to the best Milady build. The one for me that shreds the most and I love the most is Wing Stance. Wing Stance was pretty much made for Milady. It's an amazing Ash of War with this particular weapon. Does a lot of stackable successive attack damage, and you get some good charge attack damage as well when using Wing Stance. I'm going to go over this while fighting Moog here and see how much damage we get. I love this in Cold Affinity too for the extra frost buildup, but overall, this is definitely my favorite one on the list, and probably the most powerful, reliable one in my opinion too. But yeah, you just absolutely get some really amazing stackable damage with this. We're going to get into Frost proc here in short order. Overall, though, this is my favorite on the list. It might not be as powerful as the Bleed builds because everything Bleed is broken in Elden Ring. But even if it's not the most powerful, it's the most fun for me. It shreds. It's really cool. I love the Wing Stance moveset. And then, of course, towards the end here, we're going to throw in some charged hits too, which you get some ranged on those and decent poise damage. Some range is what I meant to say, but yeah, it has decent range because it'll push you forward a little bit too. But yeah, there's the poise break there. We were consistent with our hits. Probably should have went in for the critical hit, but I love this moveset, so I just kept going for regular hits. Overall, though, Wing Stance, yeah, it's really great. Definitely try out Wing Stance if you get the chance to. If you haven't tried Milady yet, Milady with a combination of Wing Stance, whether you use Cold Affinity, Blood Affinity, even Poison Affinity, etc., you're going to love this Ash of War and that particular moveset with Milady, especially if you're mixing in regular light attacks and regular charge hits and whatnot too. You can do that also. The all-around makes for a substantially good moveset that could take on a lot of the bosses in the game. And it's really cool too. And you can also use Rolana's cameo, which we're going to have equipped as her talisman. When you hold it for about 1 second, about second and a half, you'll get that extra damage bonus. Let's jump into equipment. And we have Milady plus 25 in Cold Affinity, Wing Stance, any seal for buffs. Part of the Rakshasa set and Lada's armor on. Shard of Alexander, Rolana's cameo. I think I just messed up the pronunciation of her name. Melissen's prosthesis, Ritual Swords talisman. Thorny tier, Green Burst Crystal tier, and then we have Moog Shackle. Let's jump into stats for this one. We have 60 Vigor, 19 Mind, 26 Endurance, 15 Strength, 60 Dexterity, 20 Intelligence, 25 Faith. For our buffs, we're using Golden Vow, Flame Grip, and Strength, Blessing Spoon, and we hit 51 poise. And thanks for watching this one. Thanks for tuning into my top 6 Milady builds. I hope you enjoy these. This is a weapon that's commented very frequently in my videos, so I figured I'd do a list video for it with 6 different builds that you could try out for Milady. Be sure to sub if you're not subbed yet and you want to see more Elden Ring content. And of course, if you want to see Elden Ring Night Rain content when that comes out as well. And be sure to join the Discord so I know what console you're getting that for. Hopefully we can get some groups going for that game. Can't wait for its release at the end of this month. Catch you in the next one.